Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a house tour of Modern House number 3. If you follow my channel, you may immediately notice Era, that is not where Modern House number 3 was, and you're right. I'm on my new claim on the new server, or the new island Spine, which is in Old Growth Forest. But I've got a pretty similar situation. I've got a hill, and so I've just spent a little bit of time I obviously templated my modern house, plunked it down here, and I spent a little bit of time just making it match up. So since I moved in such a hurry, I didn't record an actual house tour, so I'm going to do that now. Even though the view's a little different, I think, the interior is the same, so let's get started. So I made these stairs coming up around the side. I think it visually balances out the angled roof. I've got a little fountain here that's backlit, which is nice at night. Got a little lantern here as well. You come into the front door, and I've got some modern art on the wall, and same here. This has just been done with blended aquamarine, emerald, a little bit of agate, and a couple different types of, I think that's a type of dirt and one of the types of stone. And this landing overlooks the kitchen, and it overlooks the living room. And as you can already tell, it has a fabulous view, and that was also the case back in the original location. So you can go from the landing, and then you pass by a little overlook into the dining room and see into the bedroom. Now, I was somewhat limited on when I built this originally. I was constricted by the edge of my claim right here, so I knew I had to make sort of a long and narrow type of bedroom. But to keep it, add some visual detail, I added in these columns, kind of a soffit, and then I used an obsidian ceiling. Obsidian is kind of neat because while it's dark and you'd think it would really enclose the space, because it's shiny, you see it reflects light well, and it doesn't constrict the space as much. So coming down here, and just not to brag, but all the floors are burled wood. We definitely we went for broke. So I've got this kitchen going on here, and instead of the typical, I had been doing in Modern Houses 1 and 2, I did kind of the standard overhead cabinetry, or upper cabinetry rather. For this one I wanted to do something different, so I went with polished obsidian shelves, open shelving, with some decorative stuff. Made these from aquamarine, got some props going on in here, just to add some interest. And then I've got a little bit of lighting hidden in the walls, which is more apparent at night, but you can see it somewhat. Just adds a little bit of dimension. Now, because I was in such a hurry, a couple things didn't get finished. I probably could have spent another day on this place before coming here, and actually once I am done filming this, I'm going to tear it all down and work on a cabin. So this is one of the things that got chopped off the list. This meant to be a pantry. You can kind of get the idea, where I was going to fill this up with just random little bits. Didn't get to it, but there you go. Got some more modern art, and then coming into the living room, I really wanted this to be dominated by the view, which in both houses was incredible. Or both locations, rather, both claims, was incredible. So this is an alabaster and again polished obsidian table. These are made from a combination of striped wood and burled. You may recognize them from, I used them in my previous houses as well, just adapted them, adapted the textures and such. And that is plaster. It used to be marble, but since they changed the marble texture to be much brighter now, it's very ultra white, this is plaster instead. So then we come into the dining room, which is kind of divided by this modern fireplace here, which I'm kind of in love with. And then you can see I've got a really big table. It's iron with ruby inlay. And then I made this. The lighting in here is a little funky, but normally it's a very vibrant, fiery kind of color set. It goes from agate to copper, and then ruby in some cases, and then rubicite in others. Ruby has a tendency, like just one voxel of it really bleeds quite heavily. One voxel can bleed all the way up towards, like, to this far. With the current lighting, for whatever reason, it's not doing that, but as much. But even here, this was only one ruby voxel. So I used some rubicite as well, just to kind of mix it up. And again, got the polished obsidian ceiling. In this case, it's angled. And then you can see again the overlook into that hallway. Okay, so we'll proceed down into the basement, which is sort of the basement slash man cave. I've got some storage down here, some chests. And then I've got, like I said, man cave, right? So it's got sort of a workshop aspect, and a big old screen TV, again with the couch. And I guess the very non-man cave oriented, some decorative little bottles. Whatever. So, and then the workshop here with, just for a little bit of color, got a sapphire inlaid ceiling there. And I've used this in a couple places. This is meant to be a mirror, although there aren't any really truly reflective textures yet, so forged metal will have to do. Okay, and so I think that will about do it. I'll show the exterior again, because the main point of this house was meant to be the main design concept. I really wanted this angled roof like this, and then a fin to balance it. So that's where the entire idea came from. And if you're wondering, I used the line tool for this. I made this line first from here to here, deleted out the chunk that would have gone through the fin, and then I just worked across, going back and forth, and the same on this side. All right, well, that'll about do it. Thanks for joining me for my Modern House number 3 tour. Next up is going to be, since I'm in this lovely old forest area, I'm gonna start working on a modern cabin. So if you're looking forward to that, just keep an eye on my channel. All right, thanks guys, bye-bye.